Hi friends, I am CA Nagahan Madhu. Today we are going to see TCS on sale of goods, section 206C, subsection 1H. So before going to video, kindly like our video, share our video and subscribe to our channel by clicking the bell icon. So the section 206C, subsection 1H says tax has to be collected while making any sale of good. So far TDS provisions or TCS provisions were only for service in case of sale of service, barring few exceptions like sale of immovable property and all. Now for the first time the government has introduced TCS provisions for sale of goods as well. So for sale of goods as well, the TCS provisions has been implemented by the government, introduced by the government. So the section 206C1H says any person making any sale of goods has to collect TCS along with the sale amount and remit to the government within the due date specified. So the section has two conditions specified. So now let us see what are all the two conditions specified in the section 206C1H in order to qualify a transaction under section 206C1H. So the first condition is sale of any good which is above 50 lakhs. So in order to qualify a sale of good, the transaction should be above 50 lakhs. A transaction, it can be a single transaction or it can be a cumulative transaction with that person during the financial year, and the turnover of the person who is entering into a sale transaction and should exceed the turnover more than 10 crores in the preceding financial year. For example, let us say a sale transaction is happening in financial year 2021 and its turnover should be more than 10 crores in the financial year 1920, that is immediately preceding financial year, that is financial year 1920. So in the financial year 1920 turnover is more than 10 crores and the sale transaction is more than 50 lakhs, then TCS provisions under section 206C subsection 1H will trigger. So now let us see in one snapshot so the applicability of section 206C 1H. So section 206C 1H says any person definition says person, it can be an individual, HUF, company or any person. Person is a section 2 definition person. So any person turnover is more than or equal to 10 crores. It says more than or equal to 10 crores. Yes, if yes, and also receives any, the trigger point is receipt, not the sale. So the TCS provisions will trigger only on amount received as a sale consideration, not on top of sale value. For example, let us say Mr. X is making any sale to Mr. Y. So while making sale, these TCS provisions will not trigger. However, while receiving the sale consideration, for example, in the continuing the same example, Mr. X is selling the goods of worth of 100 rupees, and while receiving the rupees 100 from the Y, Mr. X has to collect on top of 100 rupees TCS of 0.1%. So the TCS provision will trigger at the time of receipt of amount, but not at the time of invoicing. So it says any person receives any amount as sale consideration for sale of goods, value or aggregate of such value. Value means for single transaction or aggregate of such value. Aggregate of such value means so total transactions entered with the same person during the year. So exceeds 50 lakhs in any previous year, then the TCS provisions will apply. So turnover is more than 10 crores in preceding financial year, yes, and receives more than 50 lakhs during the year, yes, then TCS is applied. The TCS will apply. If any of the conditions, turnover condition or receipt condition is not satisfied, then TCS provisions will not apply. So if TCS provisions are applied, if PAN is available 0.075% till March 21 and they are on 0.1%. So the government has reduced the TDS and TCS rates by 25%. So that is 0.075% till 31st March and they are on 0.1%. And if PAN is not available, TCS at the rate 1%. So to put it in a nutshell, so any person whose turnover is equal or exceeding 10 crores in the preceding previous year and receives any amount as sale consideration for a single transaction or aggregate of transactions during the year exceeding 50 lakhs, then TCS provisions shall apply. So in order to apply TCS provisions under section 206C subsection 1H, both the conditions shall satisfy. However, there are few exceptions provided under section 206C1H wide circular dated, wide circle number, wide CBDT circular. So what are all the exceptions provided under circular? So now let us go to the exceptions provided. So the section says, in case if buyer is liable to deduct TDS or collect TCS under any other provisions, then TCS under section 206C1H will not trigger. So let us say, for example, a transaction falls under 194 IB, 194 IB and 206C1H both under both sections. Then the prima responsibility one will be under other section, that is section 194 IA or IB, but not under section 206C1H. So if a transaction falls, if a transaction is liable to deduct TDCS or TDS under any other section, then that section prevails over 2J6C1H. So this exception is provided under section 2J6C1H. And also one more exception, if the buyer is a central government or state government or embassy or high commission, legislation, consulate, trade representation of foreign state or local authority, if any buyer is these persons specified, then TCS under section 206C1H will not trigger. And also, any person importing any goods to India or any class of persons notified by central government of India in official gazette, then for those persons, TCS provisions will not trigger. So to put it in a nutshell, it means for import of goods, TCS provisions will not attract. And the fourth exception, the transactions in electricity, rural renewable energy certificates and energy saving certificates traded through recognized power exchanges registered in accordance with the regulations of section 21 of CERC. So in case of any transactions in electricity or REC certificates or any other certificates which are traded through recognized power exchanges, not all transactions of REC electricity will be exempted. Transaction traded through registered power exchanges are only out of the scope of section 206C1H. So the four exceptions are the in case of imports and in case buyer is state government or central government or other these persons, or in case the said transaction falls under any other section, then of these four exceptions were provided in the Act. So these are the key takeaways of section 206C subsection 1H. So the section says TCS has to be collected 0.1% and the section will trigger on all transaction sales exceeding 50 lakhs. That means, for example, let us say if we are entering into a person transaction worth 60 lakhs, then TCS has to be collected only on top of 10 lakhs, that is exceeding 50 lakhs, but not on top of 60 lakhs. We have to collect TCS only on top of 10 lakhs. And the TCS provisions were introduced with effect from 1st of October 2020. So transaction entered before 1st of October 2020, TCS provisions will not trigger. And also we have to check the applicability from year on year and onwards. So the 50 lakhs turnover, 50 lakhs threshold limit has to be checked from PAN basis, not on GSTN basis. For example, let us say Mr. X is having 10 registrations in 10 places. So he will have 10 GSTN registrations. So despite of being 10 GST registrations, one PAN will be there. So one threshold has to be calculated for PAN basis. So one PAN, one threshold. So that is Mr. X may have n number of registrations, n number of accounts in the books of accounts. All those transactions has to be clubbed together and the threshold of 50 lakhs has to be considered. So one PAN, one threshold. And one more key point is TCS will trigger only on top of amount received. For example, let us say Mr. X is entering into transaction with Mr. Y for sale consideration and raised an invoice. So this transaction will not trigger TCS while receiving the amount by Mr. X from Mr. Y. While receiving the amount of sale consideration, Mr. X has to collect TCS along with the sale consideration. So the trigger point is receipt of sale consideration, but not the sale of good. Friends, please remember that the TCS provision will trigger only on sale of goods, but not for services. So what is meant by goods? So goods definition has been not defined in the Income Tax Act. So in order to define what is good, so we have to go to the goods definition given in Sale of Goods Act. So So whatever the goods definition given in Sale of Goods Act, we have to take the same definition over here. So that means goods includes all types of goods. That it can be a capital nature good or it can be a revenue nature good. For example, let us say in case of purchase of fixed assets, still it is to be treated as goods. It's a movable asset, so it is a good. So for example, let us say if a entity trading in vegetables. So if a purchase of vegetable is a good for them, and purchase of immovable property is also a good for them. So for both the transactions, TCS provisions will trigger. That means in case sale of either it is an immovable property or sale of good in trade, for both type of transactions, TCS provisions under section 206C will trigger. So for understanding, friends, I gave few illustrations here. So let us go to the illustration number 1. So in illustration number 1, Mr. A is making a sale of goods of rupees 70 lakhs on 26 May 2020, but however he is receiving the consideration of rupees 70 lakhs on 14 June 2020. So friends, for time being, let us assume that Mr. A turnover is exceeding 10 crores. So for Mr. A, TCS provisions under section 206C1H will trigger. So Mr. A is selling goods of rupees 70 lakhs on 26th May, but he is receiving the consideration on 14th of June, that is before 1st of October. Since the TCS provisions were not yet implemented, so the said transaction will not be under coverage of 206C subsection 1H. So let us go to next transaction. Mr. A, continuing with the same example, Mr. A's turnover is more than 10 crores in the previous year, and Mr. A is selling goods of rupees 65 lakhs on 8th of October and receiving sale consideration of rupees 60 lakhs on 25th of October. Since Mr. A is receiving the sale consideration after 1st of October, that is after the applicability of section 206C1H, he has to collect the TCS on rupees on top of 10 lakhs. That is 60 lakhs minus 50 lakhs. So 50 lakhs we have to remove the 50 lakhs threshold. So for example, let us say if the aggregate value of sales made during the year so far is 1.35 crores, that is 70 lakhs prior here, which we discussed here, 70 lakhs before 1st of October, and after 1st of October 65 lakhs, then total accumulating to 1.35 crores. So we have to collect TCS on top of exceeding 50 lakhs, that is so it says on top of exceeding 50 lakhs we have to collect the TCS. However, we are receiving out of 1.35 crores, we are receiving only 65 lakhs after the 1st of October. Since the TCS provisions will trigger from 1st of October, the threshold of 50 lakhs was already crossed before 1st of October. On top of entire 60 lakhs, whatever the Mr. A is receiving, TCS has to be collected at the rate 0.1%. At 0.075% till 31st of March 2021, thereafter 0.1%. So if Mr. B is providing his PAN number or Aadhaar number, then TCS has to be at 0.1%. If not provided, then 1% on top of 60 lakhs. So friends, here I gave few examples for understanding. So sales made before 1st of October 2020 is 60 lakhs. Sales made after 1st October 2020 is 20 lakhs. So before 1st October itself, the threshold has been crossed. So that is 50 lakhs. Since the threshold has already been crossed, so whatever sales has been made after 1st of October is TCS provisions will apply on receipt basis but not on sale basis. So here though the sale is made before 1st of October, this trigger point is not sale, trigger point is receipt. So here we have to see only receipt. Sale is irrelevant for us. So receipt before 1st of October is 50 lakhs and receipts after 1st October is 30 lakhs. Since the threshold is crossed before 1st of October, the amount whatever received after 1st of October will, on top of amount, will trigger the TCS provisions. So TCS has to be collected at the rate of 30 lakhs. So the sale is irrelevant for us. So TCS has to be collected only on top of amount received, but not on sale amount. So in this continuing the same example, the sales made before 1st of October is 20 lakhs. Sales made after 1st of October is 40 lakhs. So sale is not relevant for us because TCS provision will trigger only on top of receipt. but not on sales made. So before 1st October we received 6 lakhs. After 1st October we received 54 lakhs. So total put together 60 lakhs we received. So already out of 50 lakhs we have received 6 lakhs. On balance, so balance threshold available is balance threshold available is 44 lakhs. So out of 54 lakhs, we have to register 44 lakhs, and balance of 10 lakhs only we have to collect. On top of balance 10 lakhs only we have to collect the TCS amount. So one more example, and here the sales made prior 1st of October is for 70 lakhs. Those here sale is irrelevant for us. Receipt before 1st of October is 5 lakhs and receipt after 1st October 65 lakhs. So out of 50 lakhs threshold, we are having 45 lakhs. Out of 65 lakhs, we have to reduce 45 lakhs. And on balance 20 lakhs, we have to collect the TCS. Here this and the next example, sales made prior to 1st October is 30 lakhs and after 1st October is 1 crore. So total put together 1 crore 30 lakhs. But amount received prior to the total amount of 1.3 crores received prior to 1st October, and after 1st October we didn't receive any amount. So TCS provisions will trigger only the amount received after 1st of October. So on this transaction TCS will not trigger. And one more example, sale made before 1st of October is 25 lakhs, sale made after 1st of October is 35 lakhs. So sale is not relevant for us. This TCS provision will trigger only on amount received after 1st October. So amount received before 1st October is not 0, and amount received after 1st October is 30 lakhs. Since the threshold is not exhausted, so on top of 30 lakhs we need not collect any TCS. So in another example, amount received before 1st October is 60 lakhs. So threshold is already exhausted. 50 lakhs is already exhausted. So whatever amount received after 1st of October, TCS has to be collected. In this example, amount received after 1st October is 0. So TCS will not trigger. So in one more example, amount received before 1st of October is 0. Amount received after 1st of October is 60 lakhs. Since the threshold is crossing, so out of 60 lakhs, 50 lakhs has to be reduced. Only on top of 10 lakhs, we have to collect the TCS. So one thumb rule we have to see for calculation of threshold is whether the threshold of 50 lakhs is already exhausted or not. So if already the threshold of 50 lakhs is exhausted before 1st of October, then straight away on top of whatever the amount received after 1st of October, subject to provisions or subject to turnover provisions exceeds, then whatever the amount received after 1st of October, TCS has to be collected. So if the threshold is not exceeded before 1st of October, the amount received before 1st of October is less than 50 lakhs, then balance amount, whatever unexhausted limit is there, that limit has to be reduced from the amount received after 1st of October, and on balance amount, TCS has to be collected. So here are the few transition issues covered here. So if sale is made prior to 1st of October, but sale consideration is received after 1st of October, whether TCS will apply or not. So the TCS provisions will apply only on top of receipt, but not on sale transaction. Since the sale consideration is received after 1st of October, though while making the sale, TCS provisions are not applicable. While receiving the sale consideration, TCS provisions are applicable. So TCS has to be collected on top of amount exceeding 50 lakhs. So for example, let us in another FAQ, if advance is received prior 1st of October and sale is made after 1st of October 2020, then TCS is not applicable because the trigger point is receipt but not the sale amount. So we received this advance amount before 1st of October. While receiving the advance, there is no TCS. So TCS provisions will not apply. So here I gave few FAQs for better understanding. So let us go to the first FAQ. So the first FAQ says whether the sales affected during the period 1st of April, because the TCS provisions, TCS under section 206C1H were implemented with effect from 1st of October 2020. So few people got confused whether the turnover sales affected between 1st of April 2020 to 30th of September 2020 shall also be considered for computing the threshold of 50 lakhs or not. So the CBDT gave a clarification. So the sales affected is not relevant. So the amount whatever they received before 1st of October during the 1st of April 2020 to September 2020, the amount received has to be considered for calculating the threshold. But the amount has to be considered for threshold. What if a threshold is already crossed before 1st of October? We need not do anything. So whatever the amount received after 1st of October, on top of it, straight away we have to collect TCS. If threshold is not crossed before 1st of October, then a balance unadjusted amount has to be given to the amount received after 1st of October 2020. So whether TCS is to be collected inclusive of GST or not. So the TCS has to be collected inclusive of GST. The CBDT gave a clarification saying that any indirect taxes, the TCS should not be given effect on top of any any indirect taxes value. So that means, for example, let us say invoice value is 100 rupees and GST is rupees 18 rupees. So on top of 118 rupees, we have to collect the TCS. So the third one, so for example, let us say we gave an invoice, but later we are given any debit notes or credit notes for upward or downward revision. So those treatment should not be considered, should not affect the TCS calculation, because TCS provision says whenever you receive an amount, on top of amount amount received, you have to collect the TCS. So this treatment of debit notes or credit note will not impact the post-sale upward or downward revision of sale consideration, will not impact the TCS provision, because whatever the amount received, on top of amount received, we have to collect the TCS. So for example, let us say we gave an invoice of 100 rupees, but we received ad hoc payment of 50 rupees. So the provision says whatever the amount received is including TCS amount, and we have to gross up the amount, and we have to remit the taxes to the government. For example, let us say out of 100 rupees we received 50 rupees. So we have to calculate the 50 rupees is including TCS amount. So and we have to gross it up. And the TCS amount we have to pay to the government. So the last FAQ, whether TCS is to be collected on closing balance as on 30th September or not. So yes. So TCS provision says amount received on or after 1st of October 2020. And on this regard, CBDT gave a clarification saying that whatever the closing balance as on 30th of September 2020, against which amount sale consideration has been received post 30th September 2020. That means after 1st of October 2020. So whatever the sale consideration received after 1st of October 2020, against which sale made before 1st of October 2020, even though sale is made before 1st of October 2020, TCS provisions will trigger. CBDT gave a clarification on this regard. So thank you friends. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. In case of any queries, you can find me to the below given details.